Do you find yourself holding stress in your body after a long day of endless to-dos, meetings, and requests from family members, kids, and friends? Does the stress just keep accumulating until when you reach Friday, you're so exhausted that all that you have the energy to do is plop down on the couch and watch about 6 hours of Netflix instead of having the energy to go out and do the things that you love? Today I'm going to show you a technique we use in high performance coaching that you can use to relax, de-stress, and re-energize yourself at the end of the day, or actually anytime you need it. Hi, my name's Annie Bauer, and I'm a certified high performance coach for online biz entrepreneurs, busy people just like you. I help teach online entrepreneurs how to start or scale their businesses and do it faster and easier. With my background as a certified high performance coach, I also teach them how to do this with more joy, better habits, and less stress. If you're new here to my channel, well then welcome. Or if you're returning, I would like for you to just hit that subscribe and the notification bell. That way you'll be first in line to hear when new posts and new videos are dropping with important information, strategies, and tips that will help you live a better life and get your business off the ground faster. So let's dive in, and I'm going to teach you the release meditation technique through a guided process during this video. Now, like all meditation, there is a repetition and a mantra that kind of goes with this meditation technique. Although we won't be using any strange sounds or murmurings or complicated mantras that you'll have to memorize, I'll be giving you one word, and you'll be using this word so that you can just take all the stress and be thinking about intentionally letting the stress and all of those stray thoughts out of your mind as they come. So I'll give you this word, and as you're going through the meditation technique with me, you'll just be repeating this word really slowly and lowly to yourself, or you can just repeat it inside. So if you're at work, maybe you might want to go outside to your car or step out and go into a bathroom stall. This is something that you can do very quietly during the day, or at the end of the day before you go from your professional life stepping back into your personal life, so that you can just kind of reset and reframe your energy and your mind. Now, it's going to feel a little odd at first. It might take you a couple days or maybe even a couple weeks to get used to this. But I promise you, no matter how funny you might feel at the time or a little self-conscious, if you get in the habit of using this technique, you will re-energize your body and open up your blood vessels, let that stress go, lower your cortisol levels, and have a higher enjoyment in life. So, are you ready to get started? Let's go. Now, you will find that some people will recommend that when you're doing a meditation to do it for at least 10 to 20 minutes at a time and maybe a couple times a day. Here's my recommendation on this. I always say start small. It makes things more doable and it makes it easier to repeat those things in the future. So when you start really small and you do something where you say, I'm just going to commit to doing this 3 minutes per day, maybe once, maybe twice per day, that's usually something that all of us can handle. And especially when we're starting something new that feels a little uncomfortable and strange to us. So commit to 3 to 5 minutes a day, once or twice a day. It will feel a little different to you if you're not used to meditating or if you're not used to saying mantras to yourself out loud, but I promise you the rewards will come. And you may not feel it right away in the beginning, or you may feel really energized the very first time that you try this. But I encourage you again to stick with this, and then as you go, if you're enjoying it and loving it, then increase the time that you meditate or go from once per day to twice per day. Now, here are some times that you might use this release meditation technique. You might use it halfway through your day to make sure that you have an energized afternoon. I know I have way more energy in the mornings. In the afternoons, my energy lags and I need to re-energize myself right after lunch. You might use it at the beginning of the day, in the morning, just to set that tone and that mood of where you're going to be and how you're going to show up calm and centered, focused and intentional in the world. I also really like it to use it at the end of the day. That's probably my favorite time of the day to use it, because I find that the stress of the day builds up in my body and I'm not even really realizing it. As I'm sitting at my computer or I'm typing, I'm on Zoom calls, I'm on phone calls, and I haven't realized that the tension is building up. So this is a really good way for me to reset at the end of the day. Other people will use this when they're transitioning from one activity to the next, just so that they can reframe their minds and go from something that's really hectic and crazy, like a really busy Zoom call with a ton of people, to having to focus on creating content and get down and really zone in and get in flow state. So you'll find out the rhythm and the time that will work out best for you. Just play with this, have fun, and don't take it too seriously. I approach all of these things in the spirit of just fun and exploration and exploring myself and learning new ways to feel better about me, my body, and my life all the time. So as you're going through this meditation technique, you're going to be repeating the word release over and over. And that word is the word that we use in high performance coaching that really signifies letting go of the stress or letting go of those random thoughts that keep coming into your brain as you're trying to relax. So you'll just close your eyes and you'll repeat, release, 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 over and over to yourself. And you'll find that random thoughts will come in, and if you're not used to meditating, you'll find that your mind may be really busy and it's wandering out into the oblivion and thinking about all the things you need to do or what's coming next. But as those thoughts come up, I just want you to let them come in and let them go back out, and I want you to focus on release. The thought comes in, you release it. The stress comes in, you release it. And then you're also thinking about releasing through your entire body as you're saying these words, release, release, release. And we'll go through your entire body and do a body scan and look for any places where you might be holding tension. So sometimes that stress is not in our mind, coming at us with thoughts in our mind. Sometimes that stress is being held in our body somewhere. And we're not even realizing that we're holding that stress there. So as you say release, you'll just be going from your shoulders all the way down through your entire body, looking for where that stress might be hanging out, where you might feel tight, and you want to just release. Release the tension, release the stress, release the breath, and release all the thoughts as they come up. So let's practice for just a minute. So close your eyes, and I want you to just start saying out loud the word release. And then after you've said it out loud and you hear your voice and your mind's concentrating on your voice, you can go to inside your head and start saying the word release inside your head to yourself. And so it's just going to feel like this. Release, 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 release. And as you're saying this word release to yourself, you'll just feel your shoulders drop. You'll feel a relaxation throughout your entire body. And you'll think about those thoughts that keep zinging in and let them just go in and go back out. And feel the relaxation going from your shoulders all the way down your arms through your fingertips. Okay, so if you're ready, we're going to dive in. And I'm just going to get you started. We're going to close our eyes together, and I'll start out saying release, release, release. And then I'll eventually fade out, and you'll be saying release with me in the beginning, and then you can either continue saying release out loud or just go inside yourself and say release inside your head. Now, the full version of this is 20 minutes long. We're going to just do about 2 to 3 minutes. I'll get you started, and I'll give you some pointers on what to feel in your body and what to be thinking about as those thoughts pop up in your mind, or your mind starts doing the monkey mind thing and it's racing around, or thinking about what you need to fix the kids for dinner, or get the dog back inside, or that errand that you need to run. I will just bring you back to this place of focus. And that's super important to remember, that meditation is about just being right here, right now, with intention for just a few minutes. Again, we'll just do 3 to 5 minutes. Then I'll get quiet towards the end of that. And then we'll come back And you can take this 3 to 5 minutes as this 3 to 5 minute practice that we do here, and then you can just make that longer and longer in your own life up until you get to 20 minutes. And research has shown us that 20 minutes is really an ideal time because it gives you enough time for your brain to adjust and the brain waves to calm down and for you to get the full benefit of meditation. However, if you work with me a lot, you'll know that I'm always promoting like small steps, baby steps. And I start everybody off with just what's the smallest thing that you can do so that it doesn't feel like a huge commitment and it doesn't feel overwhelming in the beginning, so that you'll be able to build on that from there. All right, so if you're ready, here's what I'd like for you to do. If you can just sit comfortably somewhere with your feet flat on the floor and just get really comfortable, and think about lengthening your spine from your neck all the way down to your hips, and then relaxing from your hips down through your toes, and get long, relax, drop those shoulders, and then close your eyes, and we'll start with release. And there'll be some music playing as we go through this. When you're doing this on your own, you can either play music or just sit silently or quietly somewhere as you're doing your meditation. So we'll close our eyes and we start with release. 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 And just keep saying release to yourself. And I want you to focus on your body. And I want you to focus on anywhere you might be holding tension in your body. And just be thinking of releasing. Releasing those muscles. Releasing those nerve endings. And when thoughts tend to zing into your head, and your head's bouncing around with all of these different thoughts and words and jumbles, just let it come through you and let it go back out. Let that thought come to you and right back out. Release. Release. And the thought comes in and you release it back out. Feel the stress in your legs. Start relaxing through your hips, through your thighs, through your knees. And just think about release. Release. And as I do this, I think about all the stress, the thoughts, the worries, literally coming into my brain through the core of my body and going out through my hands and through my feet and exiting. So let it flow through you. Watch to see if you feel any blocks of energy anywhere where you're feeling resistance. And just relax that part of your body and let everything release through you and back out. Release. 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 Breathe deeply through your nose and out through your mouth. Release. 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 And then I'm going to go ahead and come back out now, as this is a short version of the full meditation that you'll do. You'll take that 3 to 5 minute version and just maybe set a timer on your phone or something that's not going to go off and startle you, something really quiet, and start out with that 3 to 5 minutes. And then build on that. So maybe the first day you do 3 minutes. The second day you do 5 minutes. Then maybe you get up to about 7 minutes and it starts to feel more uncomfortable. So you'll hold there for a week and keep adding on to that. Till you get up to 20 minutes. And then at 20-minute mark, then I want you to think about adding in a second time a day. Or 2 small short sessions per day. So that's how you do the release meditation technique. I hope that you find great benefit from this, that you feel the stress leaving your body, that you feel energized, and remember that you have the control to control your thoughts and your emotions and how you react to the environment around you. I always say that we can't always control everything that's going on around us and the chaos of the world and the things that happen, the flat tires and the spilt milk and the arguments and the lost job or whatever it was that happened that week. But we can always control how we react to it. And we always get to decide, how long am I going to let this bother me? And how long am I going to, how much importance am I going to give this problem that's occurred? So we can do that same thing with stress of the events of the day. I get to decide, do I release them or do I hold on to them? I hope you've enjoyed this. This is one of my favorite techniques from high performance coaching. And in the future, I'll be bringing you more techniques and tips from high performance coaching to help you level up in your life and have joy consistently in all areas of your life and your business. So if you like this, tell me in the comments below what you loved. Tell me what really worked for you or where you're struggling. I'd love to hear from you. I love those conversations in the comments. And before you leave, don't forget to hit subscribe and the notification bell, because I'll be coming out every Tuesday weekly with more content for you designed just like this, and also content for specifically for online business entrepreneurs that will help you level up your game in business and in life. For now, that's all. I'll see you next time.